Hello, God bless. Hello, God bless you. You are welcome to Singles and Married, and my name is Pastor Chris Ojibani. Today is a good day. It is the day the Lord has made, and we will rejoice in this day. We will be glad in this day in Jesus' name. I'm so glad today because our London seminar will take place this week on Saturday. So our preparation is in top gear. We are just preparing. And today's course promises to be another interesting and impactful course. I'm sure that by now you must have seen the topic of the course we will discuss in class today. And if you are joining us for the first time, this is School of Marriage. And in this school, we discuss case study, true life stories that happen to people, that people are passing through. We use the stories as case studies without mentioning the real names of the people in the stories. And we discuss the stories, provide solutions to the stories. And by doing that, it means that the teaching can be practicalized. It can be put into practice and it will work. It's not just theory. Not only that, that same method can equally be used in solving similar problems. And marriage is the only institution no one can ever graduate from, and that's why we take it serious. Unfortunately, many people are not aware of this. They are busy looking for power without knowing that the power of God is hidden in the knowledge of the Word of God. So if you need the power of God, you go for His Word. Once you access His Word, then you have access to His power. And that's why we come together every day giving godly counsel to people to solve their problems. Because a godly counsel is a force, it's power, it's a force. It's actually stronger than witchcraft power. It's stronger than a demonic power. Godly counsel. That's what we give in this class. And I welcome you to class today. Before I proceed, I would like to mention some of your names and welcome you in class. God bless you, Felice, a voter from Sweden. You are blessed in Jesus' name. Yes, I had a good weekend and I hope you had one. Christian Akoma, God bless you, Christian. God bless you. How are you doing, Christian? How was your weekend? Don Dada from Canada, God bless you, Don. I hope you enjoyed your weekend as well. And Charity Chinelo from Lagos, the Center of Excellence. God bless you, Charity. Today's course is a peculiar one. It's not something we have treated before, and it's something that most people shy away from. People don't like talking about it. But we will talk about it today because we are not scared discussing any topic. We can never be scared of any topic. We are not a church. Everybody has different church, different denomination. We are just a school, but based on the biblical principles. So we all have different churches. So we are not scared of losing a member. We are not scared of, we just say the truth the way it is, whether it's pleasing or not. And that's why we can never be scared of discussing any topic. Good evening, Linda Ewuzie from Port Harcourt, the Garden City. How are you doing, Linda? Thank God you're on time. He came to class on time today. Last Friday, he came very late when we were about closing. God bless you. And we're going to be starting now. And we're going to be starting. Can we please share the post before we start? God bless you, Mildred. Mildred, good evening. How are you doing? Mildred Mwafideli, God bless you. I hope you had a good weekend. Let me quickly share mine before we start. I think the sharing helps as well. It helps for some people to know we are already online. Let me share my Facebook page. I've got lots of followers. Yeah, and I also share on. Let me share on all my Facebook pages. I've got about 3 Facebook pages, and also share on my Twitter page as well. On my Twitter page and on Google Plus as well too. On Google Plus. On Google Plus. Okay, so I'm ready to start now. Good. So I'm ready to start. This story is a very touchy one, okay? It's a peculiar one, but I will share the story first, then I will allow you to make your contribution, and will now advise the owner of the story. For the purpose of this story, I will not mention the real name of the owner of the story. In this class, we hide the identity of people who bring their case studies to school. You know, the reason is that we don't want you to know the person unless the person wants you to know him or her. So we give them different names, and we don't usually mention the cities unless the city has to be unless it's important that the city is mentioned for a good understanding of the case study of the story. If not, we don't have to mention the name of the city or country in most cases. So the reason is that we don't want you to be ashamed of bringing your case study to class, because when we discuss your case study, we will end up looking at your case from different perspectives, so that you just know that it's difficult to make a mistake in such circumstance, because we will look at it from every possible angle before using the scripture to profile solution to you, and that way your problem will be solved. So instead of having any issue, disturbing you, any burden that is too heavy for you, bring it. Let's discuss it. Send me an email, a private email, to my email address, pastorchris@singlesandmarried.org, or you send me a Facebook inbox message. I will discuss the case. I will let you know the day we will discuss it without mentioning your name, and that way your problem will be solved, and other persons with similar problems will also be blessed through your own problem. And by that, God will reward you. God rewards so much. And today's course is a very interesting one. The topic is, I just discovered my husband is mentally ill. Is it safe to continue in the marriage? Is it safe to continue in the marriage? That's her question. So this is her story. And I will not, like I said, I will not mention her real name. Marian M., God bless you. Good evening, Marian. Timothy Olutubala, God bless you, Timothy. You are blessed. I hope you are preparing for our program this Saturday, Timothy. Remember, you are going to come on time so that you can walk. We need people to serve. It's a big program. We're expecting a full house by the grace of God, so we need helping hands. God bless you, Uche. So I will call her, the lady in the story, I will call her, it's not her real name, I will call her Joanna. Joanna. So Joanna is not her real name. In case you see someone else that her name is Joanna, I'm not talking of that Joanna. So this is a name I just gave her now. I just thought about the name now. Okay. So this is the story of Joanna. Joanna got married about 5 years ago, and the year 2012. She got married in Africa, and she still lives in Africa. The husband, is well-to-do, not too rich, but very comfortable, more than average. He has a good job, with a multinational company in Africa, a very good job. It's okay. At least they travel, they go to Europe and America, either Europe or America once a year for every summer, summer holidays. And they have about 3 kids. They've been married for about 5 years with 3 kids. But there is something Joanna just discovered, just confirmed. She just confirmed that her husband is mentally ill. Now, and this is her story. After the wedding, the first time she noticed something like that, but she didn't take it to mean any serious thing, was in the night after the wedding, the following day, the second night, that's they wedded on a Sunday night. She did something bad, which she didn't explain to me. She said she was at fault. They were talking, she said something wrong, and the husband flared up, not just flaring up, he was so angry, he was shaking. He was shaking when he was shouting at her, and she calmed down. She realized she was at fault, so she pleaded with him, and but he didn't talk to her for that night. Then in the morning, he was okay. And, he forgot about it. They continued talking as if nothing happened in the night. He was so happy, and she was surprised. So it happened that before her marriage, she was already used to when she quarrels with somebody, the anger will continue, they will start quarreling. But when she got married to her husband, Joanna realized that the husband can be angry now, and the next minute, he has forgotten about the anger, and he's very happy. He can be angry now, start shouting and shaking. She says that anytime he shouts, the body vibrates. The face will be vibrating, the muscles will be shaking, every part of her body, his body will be shaking anytime he's angry. So, but she now noticed after the marriage, the husband can be so angry now, the next minute he's playing. So that also helped her to stop bearing malice. Before, she used to keep malice. But when she noticed that the man can be angry, so it made her, she stopped taking the anger to heart. So even when she is angry as well too, the next minute she will just relax, because that's how the husband treats her. So, she started behaving like that. The husband has never beaten her, but has always been shouting at her, shaking, vibrating, shaking, sometimes cursing her, sometimes abusing her, verbally, not physically, verbal abuse. And, but something happened recently that made her confirm that the husband is mentally ill. They had a conflict. She was not at fault, but the husband thought she was at fault, because the husband didn't give her any opportunity to explain. She wanted to explain, but the husband didn't give her any opportunity to explain, and he started shouting at her. So he shouted so much, then so she decided to keep quiet, because over the years she had realized that anytime he's shouting, that the best thing to do is to just keep quiet. After a while, he will get over it and start playing with her. So he shouted, and she kept her calm, and And after a while, he stopped. And the following day, he decided to talk to her. He was talking to her as if nothing happened. But Joanna was angry. Joanna didn't find it funny because Joanna didn't do anything wrong. And he didn't give Joanna any opportunity to explain. So Joanna wasn't happy with him when he tried talking to her the next day. And Joanna said, no. So why would you shout at me? I didn't do anything. And the man flared up again. So the way she talked to him made Joanna's husband to flare up again. And he started shouting and vibrating again. And Joanna became scared. So when Joanna saw the color of his eyes just changed then, and the vibration, she became scared. He didn't even allow Joanna to speak. And what made it so funny is that after the vibration, about 2 hours, he became okay. He got over it and he apologized to Joanna. And Joanna had to meet a psychiatrist because she had actually been suspecting that the husband may not be mentally sound. So she met a psychiatrist. First, she started going through some write-ups over the internet on Google, and later she fixed an appointment with a psychiatrist, psychiatrist friend of hers. She met with a psychiatrist and discussed the symptoms, what she sees in her husband with the psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist explained to her that the husband is mentally ill. The psychiatrist agreed that he is mentally ill. And she asked a question if it's risky, for her to remain in the marriage. If it's risky, if it's risky for her life, if her life is at risk or danger, if she remains in the marriage. The psychiatrist said that it's not really in danger unless he pushes him to the wall. That if the way they are going, that he will never try to harm her. That the only thing is that whenever he's angry, he will not remember any of those things because it will affect him mentally. He will be so angry. That's why he would vibrate. When he's shouting, the muscles in his face will just be vibrating and every part of him. But the psychiatrist told him that there's not much risk. That's the phrase he used. No, not much risk. So that prompted Joanna to write me. Because she would have preferred the psychiatrist to say to her there's no risk at all. But the psychiatrist said there's no much risk. So Joanna said to me, Pastor, what should I do? Do I continue in the marriage? Joanna has 3 children now. 3 lovely children. And she's also in good terms with her husband. It's just that she has discovered that he's mentally ill. Anytime they're in good terms, they're very happy. But then they are not always in good terms. They are not always in good terms. So what is your counsel to Joanna? What would you advise Joanna? Joanna said the husband has never beaten her before since they got married. He had never laid his hand on her. What is your counsel? What will you advise Joanna? God bless you, Chika Adireje. God bless you. Long time. How are you doing? Precious Uju, how are you doing? Gently Manka, you are blessed. You see Sandra, how are you doing? Jennifer Jenny, you're welcome as well. What can you advise Joanna to do? Yes, you are late, Jennifer, but that's okay. You are not too late. We are just starting now. What will you advise Joanna? Joanna just discovered her husband is mentally ill. Though he has never beaten her before, but the fact that she has known this, is making her scared. She's scared, to know that she's living with a man that is mentally ill. is making her scared. What would you advise her? Felix says, once a person is married, that person is married. So Joanna should stay in the marriage since God is against divorce. So she should instead look for a way, spiritually or medically, to help her husband. Okay? Felix says, instead of leaving him, this is the time the husband needs her help more than any other time. That she should try to help her husband to come out of the predicament, not running away. This is serious. And Joy Grafted, how are you doing, Joy? Joy Grafted says the man is bipolar and she needs to support it. What is the meaning of bipolar, please? Joy Grafted, can you tell us? I love this class. We have people, from different professional backgrounds. Bipolar. What does it mean? Please tell me. She needs to support him. He needs to be taking medication to calm him. Okay? He needs to be taking medication. Okay? So Joy is saying that the man needs medication. Okay? He needs medication. Okay, so Joy, tell us what bipolar means. I'm sure so many of us will know it, but for the benefit of those who don't know what it means, tell us what it means. And Uju Preacher says, that's Chika. How you doing, Chika? Says she should try all possible. All her possible means not to annoy the husband. She should try her best not to annoy the husband. Okay? And Jennifer Jenny says, please, how did she find out? Because of the frequent shouting. Anytime the husband shouts, the man shakes, the body shakes, the muscles in his face will be shaking, will be contrasting, and she had to go meet. First, she was going through, doing some research over the internet before she decided to meet her friend, her doctor friend, a psychiatrist friend, and she discussed the husband's behavior with the psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist confirmed to her that the husband is mentally ill, and that was how she found out. And Prayer Valerie Evans, God bless you, Prayer. Good evening to you, God bless you. And Prayer says, but that's not an actual diagnosis. Yes, that's not a full and complete diagnosis. I agree with you. A proper diagnosis needs to be carried out first. Prayer says that she should not believe it based on what the psychiatrist friend told her, that it's not enough, because a proper test has to be carried out. That's what Prayer is saying. And the Charity says the man may just be a stammerer. She should continue keeping quiet when he's angry and avoid having issues with him while putting him on medication. So Charity also advises that he should start taking medication. Okay? And Chika says she should pray and also take her to where he will be taken to where he will be treated. Okay? So Chika is advising that she should take him to hospital. Okay? That's a psychiatric hospital. Okay, I've heard some people say that going to psychiatric hospital in some cases may worsen the situation, or if they start the medication, that it may worsen the situation. I don't know. I'm not a medical doctor, but I've heard some people say that, and I would like some of the students who know about that to comment about it, please. If it is true that when somebody who is not very mentally ill starts taking some medication for mentally ill people, that the medication may worsen the situation. Is it true or not? And Pastor and Jennifer said the doctor's report is not God's report. So Jennifer is saying that she should go to God for help, for solution. And Pastor Phil says if the psychiatrist says it's not risky, then what else does she need? The psychiatrist did not say it's not risky. The psychiatrist said there's no much risk. He used the word much. So that's why she's scared. That's what she explained to me. She said that if the psychiatrist had said there's no risk, she would have just forgotten about it. But the psychiatrist said there's no much risk. So she's scared whether that little risk will affect her. She doesn't really know. But for the fact she knows the husband is mentally ill, it's an issue to her. This topic is very important, please. And I would like everybody to listen attentively. If you are contributing, contribute very well and listen to see where this case how it will end. It's a very interesting topic that affects people in this dispensation. So it's very important. And Pastor Phil says the only medication is for Joan to continue to behave well and not to talk back to the man. So Pastor Phil says that the best medication Joan's husband can take is for Joan to behave well to him and to stop shouting at Joan. To stop retorting, just be nice and loving to him. And that is the best medication. This is serious. Emanuela says, good evening, I'm late. God bless you, Emanuela. God bless you. And then UC Sanders says, marriage, I believe, is two imperfect persons coming to help each other. Excuse me. The husband helped her in controlling her anger. So she should help him, by supporting him fully and not leaving him when he really needs her. And Geographer says, bipolar disorder is a mental illness marked by extreme mood swings from high to low. Okay? And from low to high as well. Okay, the person can be high and low, Okay, bipolar. And it's a disorder. Okay? And Christian Akoma says, Joanna should stay in her marriage. She has been told solution already by the doctor. Let her keep more care to him and love him more. And Mary David says, how are you doing, Mary? How are you doing? Mary says he should be taken to a psychiatric hospital for proper diagnosis and put on treatment to calm him. And she should avoid anything that will trigger his episodes. And of course, add prayer and care. Okay, Charity says the man have not killed her for 5 years. Now I doubt if he can ever. This calls for tolerance and humility on her part. Enjoy your marriage, please. Charity is saying that Joanna is just disturbing herself, that she should just start enjoying her marriage. And Christian Akoma says she should also be conscious at any time he gets angry and relate to the Lord. And Chika says he should be treated before he gets out of hand. Okay, Pastor Favor says a man with a good job who takes care of her and the kids, who takes them for summer holidays, may not be mentally ill. Okay, let me try to read it. In other words, Pastor Faye is saying that if the man takes Joanna and the kids, for summer holidays, then she doesn't think he's mentally ill. Okay, and on that, says I will advise her to apply caution as advised by the psychiatrist. She should avoid provoking him. And at the same time, proper medication should be sought. She should remain in the marriage. Okay. Sandra. Is that Sandra? How are you doing, Sandra? You changed your name today. God bless you. And Pastor Paul says, he might be a man with high temperament, high-tempered anger. And Geographer says she should encourage him to go to hospital. Taking medication will calm him. She needs to be very supportive. And Jenny says also they should constantly go for checkup to manage the situation. She's married, and married she is. Who will she leave her husband to? Or who will she leave her husband for? Okay? That's by Jenny. And Justin Manka says, it can also be that the man has too much anger. Moreover, everyone in one way or the other is mentally sick. This is another topic. Justin says that everybody is mentally sick one way or the other. she should accept the situation and walk over it. And Charity says, even men who are not mentally ill do get triggered. Okay? This is serious. This is serious. I think we should start collating it now, go to the scripture to try to conclude now. But I noticed that virtually everybody is saying the same thing. Nobody advised her to leave. Everybody says that Joanna should remain in her marriage. We have some people advise that she should take him to a hospital. I don't know how Joanna can do that. And some advise that she should just be nice and behave well. And Chika says, I'm not mentally sick. Please, I'm 50-50. Chika says that she's 50. You know, a student said that everybody is mentally sick. Jesslyn Mark said that everybody is one word, the other is mentally sick. So Chika Direde says she's not sick, that she's 50-50. And Emanuela says she's not really contributing because she didn't get the study, case study, she didn't come on time. And Charity Chinelo says it is called 1 minute madness. Okay. And Felix says not everyone is mentally sick. So Felix is also taking himself out of that comment from Menka, that she is not mentally sick. And Mary Anofo says she shouldn't leave her husband. She should rather find a means, to help cure her husband. A friend's husband was having the same issue, but with proper medication, they are okay now. I like that from Mary Anafo. So Mary said that she knows of a man, a friend, a friend's husband who had similar issue, but is okay now with proper medication. Okay, so that means they went to the hospital. That's what it means. And Yisi Sandra says, please, I'm not mentally sick. I have a son. You know why I'm laughing? There's no way Joanna's husband will accept that he's mentally sick. We didn't hear from him. Are you sure he will not be saying that Joanna herself is mentally sick? Nobody will accept he's mentally sick. If a mad person knows he's mad, then the madness will cease to exist. That is the truth. No person will ever accept he or she is mad. Let us try round up. Let me not tell you what I can, my own counsel to this. It may surprise most of you. What I will have to say today may surprise most of you. And before then, let me read Chinelo. Chinelo says Chinelo says it all depends on how we show our own madness. Okay, so Charity believes that everybody is smart, but it depends on how people show it. Okay, but prayer says, but Pastor, there was a case where the husband and his family hid mental status. What does the spouse do in that instance? Okay. So prayer is asking, what if it was hidden before marriage? What should the woman do after the wedding? Okay, and Justin Marker says, very correct, sir. Okay, let me try to round up now. So please give me your ears. I may not be able to read more comments until I finish. I will surprise you. I will surprise you to let you know that most people, so many people on earth, in the world today, are mentally ill. Now, I'm not talking of people who are hospitalized in psychiatric homes. Many people who sleep in the homes, wake up in the morning, go to work, come back, are not well. People are not aware. Even the sick people are not aware they are sick. Now, let me share with you this interesting research that took place in 2014. And I will read the results of the research. It took place in 2014, and the research was conducted in 2015, by Welsh Health Survey in 2015. And after the survey, the research was on the people that live in the United Kingdom. And it was discovered that 1 in every 4 persons in the UK has mental illness. Now, the research was not done with people who live in psychiatric hospitals, but people who live in their homes, who go to work, and they discovered that 1 out of every 4 persons is mentally ill. Then let me share with you the research that was done in America. In America, they discovered that about 18.2% of the total population is mentally ill. 1 out of 5, almost one out of 5 persons in America. In some places, in some cities, we have high level, depending on the situation of how that place is. Some major cities like New York, London, Lagos in Nigeria, some major cities, Accra in Ghana, Johannesburg. You find out that the percentage of mental illness in those cities will be very high due to the pressure, economic pressure, so many forms of pressure. Even depression. Are you aware that depression is a form of mental illness? Mental illness is not only when somebody is shouting and vibrating or when somebody is violent unnecessarily, no. So, the question is not if is somebody mentally ill. No, I feel that the question should be, can that illness be controlled without chaining the person and putting the person, without isolating the person, that's the right word, without sending the person to a psychiatric hospital where he or she will be chained and confined in one place. If it can be handled, then you don't need to confine that person. You don't need to go and chain that person in a psychiatric hospital, because chaining the person may actually lead to more depression, which will increase the mental state, which will in turn increase the mental illness. And what is actually troubling Joanna, is that most times she gets angry because of the behavior of the husband. It annoys her so much. Especially the times that she knows she's not at fault, but the husband will just be talking and be talking and be talking and be vibrating. Though after a while, he will get over it. I would like to share with you an episode that's something that has happened to me personally before resolving this issue. It happened when I was in the university in Africa in my year 1 in the university. So I had this accommodation. The students, those that don't know whether it has changed now, students were usually more than the number of accommodations. So everybody doesn't have accommodation, so we used to squat to help people who don't have accommodation, to squat them, So there was this guy I was squatting. He paid me money, to squat him in my corner. I didn't know he had a mental illness. Well-behaved, nice man, nice boy, But when the thing affects him, his own symptom is that he will just be mean. He will just be mean. He will just be mean. So if you ask him anything, he will say no. And I was squatting him. And because I was squatting him, he should always be making me happy. Because if he annoys me, I will just ask him to pack out, But he didn't care about making me happy. And I didn't know he had any illness. It just became mean, paranoid, And I started reacting as well too. I became mean to him as well too. Became so mean to him. At the end of the day, I had to eject him. And I didn't know. And I had to ask him to leave. And when I asked him to leave, he didn't even beg me. He left. And he didn't have anywhere to go. He left. And I didn't know. Many years after, someone close to him told me that he has some mental illness. I felt so bad with myself. Even as I'm sharing the story now, I'm still feeling so bad. I wish I had known. I would just allowed him. But I didn't know. I thought I would just see him as a mean guy. But it's not mean. He wasn't mean. It's just that he didn't know when he was doing that. Because later when we started seeing each other, and he was not even thinking about what I did to him, because I was the one that did him bad adventure by ejecting him, by asking him to leave. And yet when he sees me, when he saw me in those days, he would greet me very well. Very well. He still took me as a good friend. So that made me to feel bad the more, This means that most times when people quarrel in their marriages, it's because one of them is actually mentally ill. And in some cases, both the husband and wife are mentally ill. Because there are some quarrels that cannot be explained. That is the truth. Some people come to me to explain the issues they have with their spouses, and when you have this understanding, then you give room, for your spouse to make mistakes. Or when your spouse makes mistake, if you can't handle it, if you don't have any explanation, for what your spouse does to you or what he or she has done already, it may be because of mental illness. And if it's because of mental illness, the question now is, what should you do? What should she do in this case? And if anybody has a similar case, what should the person do? Because this kind of case is too common. Unfortunately, people are not aware of it. Many people are not aware of it. But because people are not aware of it does not mean it doesn't exist. It's too common. If 25% of the population in UK, is mentally ill, and about 19% in America, in Africa, in Lagos, I'm sure there's no official research, but I'm sure Lagos will be over 20 or 30%. You can ask somebody a question in Lagos and the person will start shouting at you. Just because he asked him or her a question. When you see somebody on the road and ask him, hello, please, I'm looking for Ujieleba, the person will give you the worst shouting of your life. Or the person will direct you to a wrong direction. They do that in Lagos. They just, if you are going to a place, maybe you are asking for Ujieleba. Ujieleba is by the south direction. The person will just direct you towards the north. And the person knows the right direction. That's not normal. That's not normal. That's not normal. That must be mental illness. That must be mental. The pressure in Lagos is too high. It's like that all over the world. So most people now, and that kind of mental illness is slightly different. It's not the one that makes people to be violent or to be or their spouse's life to be at risk. So we must start, the earlier we start seeing mental illness as the way we see other forms of illness, the better for us. The way we see malaria, cold, cough, ulcer. You find that some of these illness I'm mentioning are even worse than mental illness. But there is this understanding we have about mental illness, especially in Africa, that is not good. And I had a terrible, situation that made me cry. A few years ago, one of my daughters in the Lord came to me. I was praying for her to marry. After praying for her, she had a marriage proposal by a pastor. And she told me that the pastor has proposed. I said, Praise be the Lord. But she said, Pastor, there is an issue. I said, what is the issue? She said that the man got married a few years ago, but that the man's wife became mentally unstable. Okay, that particular pastor's wife became so sick that they had to change the wife. She was misbehaving. She was not violent, but she was misbehaving, talking unnecessary, saying, and trying to pull her clothes, So she was chained, and the man tried managing it, took her to the hospital. After about 4 or 5 months, he couldn't anymore because of the cost, and he packed the wife's clothes and took her back to her mother in the village. I see that as extreme wickedness, extreme witchcraft. It cannot be worse than this. Because his wife was sick, he sent her packing. He sent her back to her mother, not even to his mother. And he's a church pastor. A church pastor. And after sending the wife back to her mother, he now proposed to that daughter of mine to marry her. And I told the girl, don't marry him. He's wicked. If you do marry him, he may do worse things to you. Now, are you sure that what is happening to the wife was not as a result of his maltreatment? Because bad maltreatment can lead to mental illness, yes. Maybe it's the bad treatment he gave to the wife that made the wife mentally ill, and the wife became mentally ill, and now sent her packing to her mother's house. I'm sure that by now he must have married someone else. I don't know what he will explain to his congregation. So, marriage is a lifetime relationship. Whether your spouse is sick or not, nobody prays for illness. But the truth is that I want to surprise you. The problem should not be checking whether your spouse has mental illness or not. The problem should be checking you, whether you have mental illness or not. Because most people that complain about their spouses fail to complain about themselves. They fail to tell you what they do wrong, but they are busy complaining about their spouses. Because the truth is that even if you are married to the worst mad person on earth, if you behave well, that madness will never show. If Joanna does not annoy the husband can never exhibit such attitudes and such Joy call it, swing, changing from one low to high, low temperament to high temperament, Though I know that some cases, Joanna had said that, he had shouted at her, unnecessary. That's when she didn't do any bad thing. But in most cases, I'm sure Joanna must be at fault. So it can be managed. It can be managed. Personally, I think if a mental illness is high, if it's on the high side and is disturbing, as maybe it's making the person to talk unnecessarily or to talk what does not make sense or to misbehave or to pull the clothes, or even if it's not up to that extent but it's on the high side, then medical attention should be sought. But I don't think that in the case of Joanna's husband, I don't think that medical attention should be sought. No, this is my personal opinion. The reason is that the only thing she says that he does that is out of the norm is the shouting he does when she annoys him or when he feels she has done something bad. Even when she has not done something bad, but he feels she has done something bad. So I think that the solution to that is to stop doing something bad. Then he will not have need to shout again. He will not have need to vibrate again. And start giving him love. The more love you give him, the more you work on his temperament, the more you work on his anger, the more you manage his anger. So I think the cure should be love. Love conquers all. This is my personal opinion. if you give in love, Joanna, because the truth is that going to meet the husband, I don't know how Joanna can do that, to tell the husband that he's mentally I don't know whether the husband can take that. I'm not sure he can take that. And what I'm already seeing is the vibration. I'm seeing the vibration, but I don't know where the vibration will enter. Whether it will just vibrate and stop, or this time around, he may not behave like a mad person. He may not show or teach Joanna the behavior of a mad person. So, I think that Joanna should understand that she's already married, and in marriage is in sickness or in health. She should accept the husband as a lifetime partner, a lifetime husband. That can never be broken. The relationship can never be broken. And start giving him love. Start showing him love. Start caring. Start showing caring. This is vice versa as well too. It's not just, it can also be from a man to a woman. So if you're a man and you suspect that your wife is mentally ill, that is the best time you need to show her love. Okay? You don't make the same mistake I made when I was in the university by ejecting the guy I squatted, because he had mental illness. I didn't know he had mental illness. I thought it was just mean. It was just mean, unnecessarily mean. I didn't know he wasn't doing it, deliberately. And I'm feeling so bad today. The day I think about it, I feel so bad. I wish the clock would be, taken back for me to amend that mistake. But unfortunately, it has happened. It has happened. It has happened. It has happened. So in marriage, we have so many of such cases. That's why you can see a man will do something bad to the wife. Tomorrow he's begging. The woman can do something bad to the husband. Tomorrow she's, sober. Vice versa. That was why was it a gentleman can say that, that most people are mad. That everybody. She said that everybody is mad in one way or the other. It's not everybody, though. It's most people. Most people are mad. Not everybody, but most people. Many people. It will not be most, but many. Maybe not up to half of the population in the world, but many people are mentally ill. Depression, just depression that we take as normal thing, is a form of mental illness. Depression, yes. Depression is a form of mental illness. And that's why some depressed people commit suicide. It's not normal for one to commit suicide. Suicide is not a good thing. So, and if you're under the unction of my voice and you're not happy, suicide is not the option. Only failures commit suicide. Do not be a failure to the end, to the last minute. Instead of committing suicide, look for solution. Bring your case to class. Yeah, let's discuss it and proffer you solution, and you will solve that problem and move on. You don't have to kill yourself. God hates anyone that kills himself, because you don't own yourself. You belong to Jesus Christ. You have been paid for. Jesus used his blood to pay for you. He bought you. He bought you. Okay? So you're no longer your property. Jesus bought you. He has paid for you. So never you think of killing yourself. I don't know, I'm talking to somebody. I am talking to somebody. I don't know who that person is. I don't know whether that person is watching now or going to watch this video after now. But I'm talking to somebody. Only failures commit suicide. Never you think of committing suicide. Erase that thought from your mind. Erase it completely. One thing I want you to know is that it's not a sin to fail in anything you do. But don't remain a failure. If you fall 7 times, stand up 7 times. If you make mistakes 7 times, correct the mistake 7 times. Don't remain on the floor. It's never late. No matter what you have lost, no matter what you think you have lost, you can recover. You can actually recover double fold. That is the simple truth. As long as the Lord is with you, you can recover. What has happened has happened. Leave those things behind and forge ahead. Think about tomorrow. Plan your tomorrow. Make it better. And God be being with you. It will work. Don't be scared again. I'm actually talking to you. So just move on and know that it can be better. Tomorrow, it can only be better. That is the simple truth. Your situation is not the worst situation. There are people who have gone through worse situations than yours, and today they are standing very tall. You can stand tall. You can stand tall tomorrow. That is the simple truth. So, Joanna, this is our counsel to you. You have a good husband, Joanna. You have a good husband. It's just that he shows his true color. He does not pretend. Unlike some bad people do pretend. They are angry. They will still be smiling, though they are angry. They may be planning evil and still be smiling. So your husband is not evil. It's not like that. So what do? Try your best to avoid annoying him. And when he gets angry, do not talk back to him. Give him love. Be so nice to him that he wouldn't want to shout at you again. On a consistent basis. Don't see yourself as a saint. Because the problem is that when a woman sees herself as a good man, no matter what the husband does, she cannot be pleased. Understand that you have so many faults. That's why you are not able to live with your husband peacefully. Because if an angel gets married to a man, no matter how bad that man is, there will be no problem. So you are having conflict because both of you are imperfect. Not because your husband is imperfect, but because you and your husband are imperfect, are not well behaved. That is the simple truth. It's not one-sided. It takes two to have a conflict. One person cannot quarrel with himself. It takes two. Whenever there's a conflict, the two persons involved are at fault. So that's what you should know. So, giving love, stop discussing your husband with doctors, stop discussing your private issues with doctors, It's just that he shouts at you, annoys you, he has never beaten you before, so your life is not at risk, All you need is to be nice to him, take good care of him, take good care of your children, be nice to him, show him love. Don't believe you are better than him. Just be nice to him, and everything will work out fine in Jesus' name. So shall it be in Jesus' name. I will pray for you, but before I pray for you, I would like to remind you of the program we have in London this Saturday. It's very close, taking place on Saturday, and we have a guest speaker, a great woman of God. Many people are not aware she is a woman of God because she is rich. She's the richest black woman in the world, Mrs. Folorunso Alakija. She'll be coming, she'll be speaking at the seminar, The Mystery of the Marriage Box. I will be speaking as well. She will talk about relationships, she will talk about finance in marriage, and both of us will pray for the attendees and grace, the grace on our lives. We bless you, we bless the attendees, and by the grace of God, you will have your desired miracles in Jesus' name. Before I pray for you, I would like you to watch the jingle just for 72 seconds or thereabout, and I will be right back. Don't go anywhere, please. I'll be back soon.
Make plans to attend the London Singles and Married Seminar this June. Theme: The Mystery of the Marriage Box. Ministry: Pastor Chris Ojigbani.
Listen to this testimony. The grace of marriage helped her to marry. Not just her marriage, her daughter got married as well. She came to the program. A man came without seeing her propose marriage. This is amazing miracle. Mother and daughter getting married. What's their wedding?
Some people they below. I continue the struggle.
Also ministering, Mrs. Folorunso Alakija, with an oil fortune of $7.3 billion. Mrs. Alakija is the richest black woman in the world.
My name is Mrs. Folorunso Alakija. I'd like to welcome you to the Mystery of the Marriage Box with Pastor Chris Ojigbani. I'll be ministering there.
Date: Saturday, 17 June 2017. Time: 12 noon prompt. Venue: Transformation House, 66 St. John's Hill, Clapham Junction,
London, SW11 1AD.
Admission is free. For more information, please call 0757 655 4405. Be there. Make plans to attend the London Singles.
God bless you. You're welcome back. You're welcome back. I'll be speaking into your life now. Before we close, I will pray for you. I'll speak into your life. And the counsel we have given to Jana is very simple. In Jana's case, I don't think the husband's case needs psychiatric confinement. I don't think he needs to be confined. I don't think he needs to even see a medical doctor. I think he needs love. Love is capable of healing him. His own is not, depending on the level. If they live well, they've been living well. Just that the only problem is that he shouts at her when he's angry and he vibrates. And he does not do that to people outside, but only to her. Okay? So I think she can control that. She can control that. It's not a very serious mental issue. And I also saw a post by Jensley Menka that she studied mental health in nursing, and that she was taught that everyone has about 5 minutes mental madness every day. And she may be right. She may be right. I don't know about that. I didn't study mental health, but she may be right, because as a pastor, I see how people behave, and it shocks me. Even myself behave badly sometimes. And I also, when I'm calm, I wonder why I did something like that. So most people, I don't think it's everybody. There's a level you will get to spiritually. You will be able to control your temper. When I was much younger, I wasn't able to control my temper. And when I was, spiritual, when I started growing spiritually, I was able to work on my temper, to work on myself, to be myself. So I've noticed that as the day, gets by, I'm improving, I'm controlling myself. So the more spiritually strong you are, the more you control yourself, the more you control your temper. So many people who are not able to control theirs are not well. And some people who are mentally ill, when they are spiritually high, they can control theirs. It's not just about shouting. Some people don't shout. Even some people who give their spouses the quiet treatment are mentally ill. That's why they give their spouses the quiet, the silent treatment, that they don't talk to their spouses. It's also a form of sickness. But they don't know that. Some people, they just withdraw. When you do the song, they just withdraw into their shell. It's also a form of mental illness. There are too many mental illness. And I like the way we are discussing it today, because some people must have divorced their spouses, believing that their spouses are so bad. Just like I ejected that boy from my corner in the university, thinking that he was mean, without knowing he was sick. So some people would have maltreated their spouses or done bad things to their spouses, thinking that their spouses are bad or mean, without knowing that it's illness. In other words, the spouse didn't know what he or she was doing. And what you need at that case is to give love to the spouse. That is not the time to leave your spouse. And if you are watching this video now, or you're going to watch this video after now, if your spouse has been misbehaving to you, and from our discussion today, you feel that your spouse may not be mentally sound, you feel that your spouse may be mentally ill, then this is the time to show love to your spouse. This is the time your spouse needs you more than any other time. This is the time you have to show that both of you are truly husband and wife, that you are one. Do not leave your spouse now. Forgive your spouse, because your spouse does not know what he or she does. It's mental illness. That's why Jesus Christ said that the people that crucified him did not know what they did. He asked for their forgiveness. So the same thing God expects of you. Forgive your spouse. Accept your spouse the way your spouse is. Many people, if not everybody in the world, many people in the world, or most people, are mentally ill. The earlier we know this, the better. I'm telling you, the better. So that when you behave in certain manners, you realize that you may have to caution yourself, so that you become. I think it's better rather than allowing people to They allow you to get worse, and before taking them to psychiatric hospital. If we start teaching it now, it will make people to be cautious of how they behave, of how they talk, of how they get angry, and they will then decide to control their temper, to control themselves, to behave in good manners, to ensure that they are not mentally ill. By doing that, they work on their mind, and the end result is that people will deliberately and consciously be behaving well to make sure they are not termed as mentally ill people. And the second thing we need to do in this dispensation is that we must stop seeing mental illness as the discrimination against mental illness, especially in Africa, is too bad. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. Some associate all forms of mental illness to demon spirits, and that's not true. That's not true. Most of them can be cured medically. That is the truth. But some of them can be cured psychologically. And the psychological treatment, in most cases, is to give love to the person, to be nice to the person. Love. Love conquers all. Love conquers all. Love conquers all. Love conquers all. In some cases, the person may require medical treatment. And if you find out the person requires medical treatment, don't leave the person, provide the medical treatment, or rather take the person to a hospital where he or she will be taken good care of, and continue showering love on your spouse. It is important we understand. Never you leave your spouse because your spouse is mentally ill, just like the pastor did, the wicked pastor did, and sent his wife packing and married someone else. This is a bad thing. I want to pray for you. Father, I pray for everyone in this class. I ask for grace that you shall help us. None of us shall be mentally ill. And anyone that has been mentally ill before now, ask for healing, divine healing upon all of us. Strengthen us in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. I also ask that you shall give us grace. Those who are not yet married, let them marry this year. Even before the end of this month of June, let them encounter their spouses and marry this year and be happy in their marriages and enjoy their marriages. Those who are already married should enjoy their marriages so much, have their heart desires. Sickness is not of God, and we command every sickness to disappear in Jesus. Every sickness under the unction of my voice, I command you to leave now and never come back again in Jesus' name. It is well with you. May you have your heart desires in Jesus' name. God bless you. I love you. Don't forget the prayer you pray. If you are married and you feel that your spouse has mental illness, your prayer should not be for your spouse to start behaving well. Your prayer should be that you should start behaving well. Because when you start behaving well, your spouse will no longer misbehave again. If you pray for your spouse to start behaving well and you don't behave well, your bad behavior will still activate that mental illness in your spouse. This is the simple truth. This is the simple truth. This is the simple truth. It's a hard one, but it is the truth. Very truth. So it's very correct. So my advice is that you should focus on working on your behavior, not on your spouse's behavior. If your spouse shouts at you, then stop doing those things that make him or her shout at you. If your spouse gives you the silent treatment, stop doing those things that make him or her give you the silent treatment. Understand that when your spouse shouts at you, it is a weakness, it is a sickness, it's a form of sickness. When your spouse gives you the silent treatment, it is a form of sickness. It is indeed a form of sickness. So your spouse needs help. And only you can help him or her by being nice. And the help is by being nice. God bless you. I love you so much. My name is Pastor Chris Ojibwani. This is a school of marriage where we come every weekday to learn about marriage, because no one can ever graduate from marriage. And that's why those of you who are already married and you attend this class, your happiness is guaranteed. And not just that, you have been fully equipped to help others. And those of you who are not yet married, you are preparing your happiness. You are ensuring that you cannot have problem. You cannot have problem in your marriage. And these teachings will also help you marry easily. So I want to see you tomorrow again. God bless you. And if you have any case you want us to resolve, any issue you want us to resolve, send me an email to Pastor Chris at Singles and Married, telling me the issue. Even if it's your friend's issue or loved one, tell me what has happened to the person. We will resolve the issue in class tomorrow, this week, anytime this week, without mentioning the person's name. God bless you. I love you so much. The Lord will bless you. He will increase you. He will promote you. He will multiply you in Jesus' name. God bless you. I love you. My name is Pastor Chris Ojibane. Ciao.